Good afternoon. These are the lunchtime prayers and reflections from St Mary's and St Paul's, Harlow. I used today another of the reflections by Wendy from St Paul's and St Mary's, who has written, "Many of us are no longer in actual isolation, but we can still feel on the edge of our communities. Someone who was very much on the edge was Zacchaeus. You can read about him in Luke chapter 19, verses 1 to 10. He was the chief tax collector in Jericho in the days of Jesus, and to say that tax collectors were unpopular is an understatement. I add, not much has changed. Jesus was passing through Jericho and Zacchaeus wants to see him. He has probably heard that Jesus is friendly to those who are rejected by others. He was a small man and couldn't see over to the crowd, so he runs ahead and climbs a sycamore fig tree, which is a large tree with wide, low branches. He hopes he will be able to see Jesus without being seen, but he is wrong. Jesus stops, looks up and invites himself to Zacchaeus' house for dinner. Jesus had sought out Zacchaeus, accepted him and helped him to discover a new life. So if we are feeling marginalised and on the edge, don't feel abandoned, because Jesus is there with us, drawing us into his arms. Wendy wishes us all God's presence with us. So I use a prayer of Walter Brueggemann. Lord God, in these days, we can name in your presence thousands of shut down places around us. Those shut down in poverty and despair, those shut down in fear and in rage, those shut down by abuse and violence, so many on the edge, too hurt to speak, too frightened to appear, too scarred to dance. And closer, our own shutdowns, in anxiety, in resentment. We are weary. Sometimes we think of ourselves too much and not of our neighbour. These things are not all your doing, we confess. But you are the God who opens up